Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, September 4th. What year is it? I almost said 2015, 2025. Wow. Yeah, if I could go back a decade, that would be all right. How is everybody doing today? The iced chai tea latte is ready to let the show begin. All right, sounds great. I don't do tea, but um, I've got water. I'm good to go. Hello, LD Industries. How are you? So you probably didn't notice, or maybe you did. I used to have a little music at the beginning while you were waiting. Mango iced tea. Now that sounds interesting. Mango iced tea. I used to have a little music, but it has given me nothing but grief um, over the past couple weeks, and so I decided, even though I had purchased rights to use one particular song, every time I would upload it to YouTube, YouTube didn't like it and give me a copyright, not a strike, but a copyright claim on it. Um, and so okay, I'll go and I got something else that was supposed to be free. Well, it was free. It was free, and um, you just put there's a little tag that you have to put in the description. Well, come to find out, you can use it once. If you want to use it for more than one video, you have to download it again, and then there's a different code in the description that like. I'm not doing that every time. I'm just not doing that every time. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I just deleted all the music. I don't know how to make it work, and I'm not going to sit there and every week submit a copyright claim to say I own the music I actually did pay for. Um, I'm done. Not doing it anymore. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? Let me get my stuff organized. Just record your own tune. Yeah. Well, even though I do have an undergraduate degree in music, you wouldn't want to hear me play trumpet any day soon. So I will just try to make the intros very short. Is what we're gonna do. You don't have to wait in silence too long. My rant of the day, I guess, as it were, I had contacted, maybe start a jug band. Who doesn't love a jug band? I know, right? I contacted some movers to move some things, some desks and some bigger things from a storage unit for me that won't fit in my car, and I don't want to move. They're too heavy. And we've been going round and round and round with these people, and they were supposed to meet me today. So we get up and at least, and I get here at like 6:45, which is, for me, there's only one 6:45, and that wasn't it. It was absolutely not it. And they said between 9 and 10, they're going to call me a half an hour before. Now, yesterday, when I had spoken with these people, well, I didn't actually speak with people. I spoke with the home office. They said they're gonna call you. And so immediately after I hung up the phone, they texted me. It said, "Great." It is an automated thing. I realize we'll be there between 9 and 10. Okay, fine. I'll get in early. My mail comes here. I've got a sub this week, and she's coming like at 10 o'clock, which is worse than when I was doing it at home, because at least at home I knew it was like 10:30, right? So 10 o'clock, man, I need to be done shipping, which is a blessing and a curse, right? So I had 2 hours to take care of everything. Got that done just in time for the mail lady to come. But 9 o'clock comes, and I'm like, I'm a half hour away from where I need to be to meet these people, because they just want to look at it to give me a quote. So 9 o'clock comes, no call. 9:30, no call. 10 o'clock. I send them a text. I'm like, hey, at what point are we gonna, what point are you planning on meeting me today? And they send me a text back like around noon. Yeah, we're not doing it today. Well, and in the text they had said between 9 and 10. So it wasn't like they didn't know what it was. They said, well, how about Monday? Like, well, great, but Monday's a busy day for me. It's got to be before 1. I don't know. So we'll see. If they screw this up, I will find somebody else. But it's just like I need this done. My space here is not complete until I have those last final pieces, and then we can do what we need to do. Your rant of the day, going on 2 days now, is for the mail order pharmacy to finally ship out your prescription. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, like, people need that stuff. This is not like random junk from Amazon. Jug band. I used to know a guy who had his own steel pan band. Somewhere around here, I've got a no, not here, but somewhere I've got a CD of this. So end rant. That's my rant. I'm just trying to give you money, and then if you call them, it goes to like the national hotline, and then they go through the whole process all over again. Well, what are you moving? How heavy is it? How big is it? What are the dimensions? Like, oh my god. Anyway, okay. Let's take a look at what we got today. I got some cool new things in today. I'm just going to show shameless self promotion because I love these. These are great, and I was not expecting them today, but they came in. You can turn on the ultrasonic cleaner and use the lovely sounds for the starting. Oh, that's hilarious. That's not half bad. Oh, that would be funny. What is that awful noise? The the dulcet tones of the Crest HTA 875. Oh my goodness. That's the funniest thing I've heard all week, I think. All right. And not a half bad idea. Everybody's so excited when the stream actually starts. Right. Yeah, yeah, they would be. Wouldn't they? Tension building. Um here's my little thing for the day. I got some I met my UPS driver today, so I got all the shipments coming in here. Great guy. And he had this huge like he brought everything on a dolly, and I'm like, well, that's not all for me. He goes, yes, it is. And I forgot Lisa ordered some boxes and things, so I had this huge thing of boxes. And I had some Atoya, these cute little petite journals. I love these. This is the small size. Actually, they make a size that's a little bit bigger than this. This is what is this? Yeah, this is the A5 Oasis notebook, but these petite journals are just adorable. They're perfect pocket size. They make one that's a little bit bigger, which still fits in your pocket. Fountain pen friendly. Pages are perforated. Really, really great. And then these guys, this paper is awesome. It's really hard to see. You can't see it. Got too much light going on here. But these came in today, and I'm just really excited because they're just so different. They're nice, and then it led me down another rabbit hole. So those are up on the site if y'all need any of that kind of stuff. That's my super low key sales pitch. And then I was looking at some other paper, ordering some more paper. And so Mariamon's been a decent seller. And apparently I didn't know I mean, I guess I really never, I ordered like a certain set of SKUs, and then that was it. apparently they have some, what is it? No, they have A6 and A5 size journals, which I found interesting, in some nice colors. They make a ton of different things. And so Lisa's going to hate me when I see her next. Yeah, the loose leaf papers. I looked at some of those, but I didn't, with weird rulings. Yeah, what I did find is they had, what I thought was super cool, is they have kind of like I forget what size it is, but it's not really reporter's notebook size, but it has Greg ruling. So it's got the line down the middle. And I thought that was kind of cool. So I might be expanding that Marumon section on the website soon, just for something different, you know. For me, if it's A6 size or smaller, I love it. I have to have every one. And one of these days, I really need to, I need to do a video with like all the A7 and A6 sized, maybe B6 too, size notebooks and stuff that I have. Hello, Dawn. The little notebook reminds me of the bookkeeping practice set that used in your freshman bookkeeping class that you took. Same teacher that your mom had 20 years earlier. Wow. That's cool. That's cool. I went to the same physical school. It was a junior high. But it was originally constructed as a high school that my mother and my grandfather went to the same school. It was a cool building. They actually had at one time they had an observatory at the top of, like, on the 4th floor or whatever. But it wasn't open when I was there. Kikuyu Campus B5 loose leaf come in really cool variants too. Not sure if you're just. I do think they carry those. Yeah, so I know we were kind of talking about those. There was a couple other interesting brands, and one of my things was I wanted to make sure. I wanted to do more in different papers this time around. Kokoro Mi papers. Okay, I'm going to write that down. So if anybody has anything that they really like, let me know. I'm looking for different things. And I'm looking at getting more shelving units. I don't have enough room already. Junior high school you went to was a high school when your mom went there? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was a cool building. Cool building. All right. What do we got going on today? We've got those Esterbrooks we started yesterday, those pastels. I did, however, get a client's pen in, so I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm going to open it up. Oh, I've been up early. Holy cow. Kikuyu inexpensive campus binder notebooks in B5. Very reasonable for 2016 notebook. Okay. All right. Problem with this pen is that it seems to leak a bit while writing. Ink collects on or near the snorkel until it drops a big blob onto the page. It's frustrating, to say the least. Okay. Very good. And this is how um this is how it needs to be done. I'm not going to show it to you, obviously, but it's typed out with all the relevant information. Thank you, Hans. Yeah, that stuff is available. I'm certain of it. There is no way anybody's getting into this. I might not even be able to get into it. Yeah, yeah. If it's priced well, I might try it. Yeah. My only concern was, um, like with the Marumon prices jumped tremendously in my absence, my short absence. Uh, which is weird because the Midori pricing from the same distributor is exactly the same. So I don't know what that means. Wow, this is a serious tape job here. Which, is, I'm not complaining. I have literally had pens that arrived to me like in a box with no padding. And you get it, and it's floating around like a maraca. It's pretty tight, so I don't really want to. And my knife is incredibly dull, which is how I like it. All right, there we go. I don't think I need this, so I'm gonna toss that. Ooh, green. This is a big bag. Holy cow! All right. All right. So it leaks. What do you say? You will tape the next pen I send you to a postcard and send it down. Now, you can't do that because I know you have 3 pens of mine. 3 pens of mine. And don't say you're going to tape all 3 to the same postcard for stiffness. Has everyone sent in the worst of the worst ones you need repaired into Brian yet? Yeah. Midori notebooks in A6. Yeah, I'm actually looking at some of the are you talking about the Dawn? Are you talking about the non-spiral bound, like the notepads, the staple bound ones? Maybe they're not notepads. The picture I have is very very hard to. Are we doing that? I bet I can win. No, we're just. Let's be clear here. We are not sending Brian the worst of the worst to see if I can get him open. If we start doing that, my prices are going to go up immensely. Um, sure, it will work well. Tape it to a postcard. Oh. All right, no cracks, so that's good. Got some fresh water here. Notebooks that came in line, dotted, or blank. Use the blank for sketching. Okay, black. Are they black covers? Or are they a different color? Oh, Midori. I'm sorry. I'm thinking. I already have a ton of Midori notebooks. So if there's a ivory, yeah, we have a ton of those. I don't know if I got the one that you're specifically looking at. Well, I've got vacuum on the back. It does sort of fill. I guess the only way to look at this is to have to open it up. Yeah, I looked for crack. I didn't see any. So let's just see what we can find here. That suction's good. Why would it leak? Well, I guess the only... Here we go again. This has officially become my least favorite repair, is getting these sections. Yeah, the strangest problem with the snorkel you repaired on Tuesday, it just wouldn't fill. I replaced the section, barrel, and nib unit. It still wouldn't fill. It turns out the touchdown tube had a manufacturing defect. The groove that allows air to vent out was so shallow that it wouldn't let enough air to pass to fill the pen. You've never seen that before. So if you have a snorkel that just won't work, check the touchdown tube. Who would have thought? Yeah. Um, just because I'm hypersensitive about this. I'm going to soak it, but I think the first thing I want to do is fill it up and see if we can replicate what's going on. Tube's a little cockeyed, but that's just aesthetics. Have you ever repaired pens that were defective? Well, I guess it depends on how we define defective. Do I like to collect antique inkwells? Not really inkwells, but I do collect some desk sets. And I'm interested in some desk sets, and I'm interested in Victorian pens, but not necessarily the inkwells. Primarily Esterbrook is my focus. The dipless was really what interests me. I don't know how long I'm supposed to wait before this to leak. Now, if this would have been a lucky curve, it would have leaked already. And sometimes it's hard to tell how the client is using or how they're inking. No, it's a latex sack. The old, and sometimes it is user error. They're not filling the pen properly or cleaning it off afterwards, or sometimes wiping a nib off too much after filling it is problematic. This is the old Frank Dubiel trick. Kind of hang on to it in your hand, let your hand heat it up. Although PFM is pretty well insulated that this shouldn't affect it, but it could be the sack did not feel super, super springy. So yeah, and don't blame the sack. And of course, the section doesn't want to open either, but that's really the least of the worries. That gasket really can. I'll soak it. We'll see if we can get it open, but I still have nightmares and panic attacks about PFM sections. Does the type of ink matter or not? I mean, in this case, I don't think so. You should only be using Waterman or Parker with this anyway. Yeah, that would be it. Next question is, I have no idea where I put those drill bits. Yeah, it was a sack. A good sack shouldn't do that. Like, I don't even want to get this on my drill bit. All right. Nasty. Where did I put? Oh, I moved it. Sure enough, there you are. Well, now can I... Yeah, that's what it looks like on the inside. I think what I'm going to do... I don't know if it's premature sac failure or what it is. So... I can find my screwdriver. Where'd you go? Oh, there it is. Let's just make doubly sure and just replace. Replace that O-ring. Seems okay, but it's got a lot of hair on it. Wonder if they have cats. The next question is going to be what ink was used in this pen? All right, we need, at very minimum, I need a O-ring. All right. It's otherwise pretty clean in there. So they're having the roof replaced. So if you hear pounding, and it was raining yesterday, most of yesterday, so um, they couldn't do much of it. And so yes, so we were parking away from the roof because I didn't want anything, to fall off the roof on my car. And all of a sudden, the landlord walks in, comes in and says, I need you to go out and take a look at your car because one of my clients who can't see very well, I think backed into your car. It was fine, but I'm like, do I need to park like the next town over? Because like literally my first week, and you know, and it's not, you know, it's just my black VW, and I'm not hyper sensitive about, you know, it gets parked outside, you know, I take reasonably good care of it, but you know, I'm not banging things into it or anything, but I don't sit there and notice every small little nick and scratch, and I'm like, now I have to figure out if, you know, somebody actually did something. And apparently he watched her. He went outside, he watched her, and she backed out, and like just bumped the car, and then just kept going. Oy vey. All right, let's see how this turned out. Your grandfather actually turned his license in when he felt no longer comfortable driving. Well, that's, you know, that's an awesome thing because so many, most people don't, right? I heard rumors of my grandfather who was 99 when he died, and was still driving, and my, my mother was terrified of getting in a car with him. They're like, yeah, I know, I'm not doing it. If one of us is gonna die, it ain't gonna be me. I don't know how the weather is for you folks out there, but when I woke up this morning, it was 49 degrees. I, It's been a while since it's been 49 here, which is a nice respite from the 80-degree days we were having last month. Tenant downstairs was ranting the other day about his current wife, about her not being a good driver. He says she is bad at judging distance. Her new car, she did some minor cosmetic damage to it. 88. It's 88 degrees still, and you want me to come visit? I'm not visiting when it's 88, man. I am not visited. I mean, I love you and all, but 88, no way. It's almost hard to believe. I lived in Florida for 4.5 years or 4 years or whatever it was. It's too cold. Come in early August, it'll be nicer. Oh my god. Something looks funky about this point holder gasket here. The guy's been doing body work on the car. Oh, man. I don't know. I gotta find it. I gotta find the time to come to visit you. Of course, it's if you want to cool off, you can always come to Wisconsin. We're only like a mere, what is it, 6 hours away from Fort Madison? If I drive to Florida, I can stop by here on your way. Yeah, well, that is one long drive from Wisconsin. I've done it a few times. Um, once, maybe my favorite story. Um, boy, let me get this. Let me get this right. In June, um, I drove from Florida to Wisconsin and back in a 1970 Mustang with no air conditioning. Oh, that was something. A friend of mine from Colorado, may she rest in peace, flew to Florida to help me drive, and we did it in one, like, nonstop. I don't remember how many hours it was. It was a long, long drive. I mean, it's not like going to Wisconsin to LA was long. Going to Dallas is long. Going to Florida is pretty long too. But We did it nonstop. I mean, it was only getting getting to Wisconsin in the middle of the night was driving at night was just beautiful. And I still say the 1970 Mustang, and I don't know. 69 had it as well. I don't know about 64 and a half to 68. I think also have the vents on the floor, not like on the dash in your face. They're on the floor. Hello. What are you doing here? Oh, okay. Your official business then. Okay. Yep. Lisa just made an appearance. um, the vents are on the floor, so if it's hot, obviously, and you've got the vents open, it comes in it comes up your legs, and it really helps cool you off. They're really wonderful. But yeah, no air conditioning in that car whatsoever. Your air conditioning is out in your car. Yeah. Um, Mine doesn't work so well in the Corvette either. Which is kind of problematic considering I typically do drive it in the summer. So yeah, we drove up and back. Then I drove back, and it was equal. It was even worse on the way back. It was just brutally hot, and it was funny. It was funny. I swear, because I this was the first marriage, not the good one, the first one. Yeah, right. And I swore I almost got a divorce driving back because it was just like I'm like, what am I gonna do? It's hot. It's not gonna get any cooler. Just keep driving, and eventually it'll be over with. She wasn't buying into that plan. Never really did, actually. Mm. All right, we got a nice new, nice new. But anyway, moving right along. And on the way back, we stopped somewhere. I forget where it was, some outlet mall, because the weather was so bad. There actually were tornadoes. We stopped at an outlet mall, and I bought a watch. It was the worst watch I've ever. The worst watch I've ever bought. Brand new. It was the worst thing. I had the movement replaced on it like twice. Twice, I think it was. Under warranty. It was a Movado ESQ Esquire chronograph. I mean, it was a cool looking watch, but it had this quirk where if you change the date in a certain situation, it would just bork the entire movement, and they wouldn't fix it. They would just replace it. I was like, well, that's just stupid. Anyway, the spring of 1950, your mom, 1960. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Your mom and her woman boss and I came up by car from Florida to Maine. That's a long trip. Yeah. Well, my dad and his boss, the other half of my mom's boss's wife, piloted the guy's sailing boat up the East Coast. Well, yeah, I wonder who got the better end of that deal. Farmer's Almanac says the Northeast will have a very cold and snowy winter this year. We have had Yeah, now I've got it made. I can sit in the back seat and look at pens while being chauffeured by your lovely bride. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She really is the best. She really is. Although we had a conversation. I can't remember if it was last weekend or if it was in reference to this weekend because my memory's a little foggy and I've been getting up way too early. But we had a conversation about, I think it was this coming weekend, like, no, I am not allowed to sit in the back seat and play with the pens this weekend. So we're going to I think I mentioned this yesterday. We're going to an antique mall. They have kind of like a loyalty program. And every once in a while they like twice a year they have a 20% off weekend or something like that. So Hans expects some pictures. I know there was a desk set that I looked at the last time I was there. You look forward to it. And I bet it's still there. Trunk of the VW is probably big enough for a human and a big box of pens, just in case you have to look for it. Yeah, it's a nice car. I really, when I bought it, I had the most unfortunate. I guess at the time I considered it to be unfortunate. I was trying to get the loan for it, and I was having a little trouble because apparently I wasn't taking out a big enough loan, which I thought was I wasn't getting a car that was expensive enough to take out a loan enough that the bank would allow me to. It was goofy, the goofiest thing. But I didn't want an expensive car. Not that the VW is expensive, but I was looking much further down the food chain, and I had found um, this Lexus hybrid that I had it in my head that like the hybrid was the way to go, and I had missed out like by a day on this Cadillac that I wanted, and then the salesman, I can't believe he did this. He goes, "Well, it's on reserve for somebody. If you want, we can go sit in it." So I'm like, okay. Went and go sit in it. I'm like, well, this is great, but I can't have it. So what are we doing here? Um, so I saw this Lexus, and I said, man, this is the cat's meow. It was actually like a very, I mean, it was no ES 300. It was kind of small, uh, and there was no pass through from the trunk to the back seat, so you couldn't put anything in this thing. And I'm really glad it didn't work out. Um, yeah, they wouldn't give me the loan. They said, well, you gotta buy something more expensive. Okay, I'll buy the VW, and I got in the VW, and I'm like, the leg room in the back is ridiculous. You can have a full size, um, a 6 foot plus tall person can sit in the back and not have your knees up to your chin, which is for you tall guys out there, you know how it is. Your husband and I went to 4 different antique malls on Labor Day, not a single pen in sight. Yeah. Both of your parents had were Cadillacs, station wagon, pickup truck, camping trailer, and a '58 Fleetwood Cadillac limo. Yeah, nice. This was gosh, what was this? I can't remember what it was. It got the worst gas mileage ever. I mean, it was when I finally looked at it, it was like this is ridiculous. You know, and the VW is a diesel, so it gets pretty decent mileage, like 45, 50 miles a gallon. So, I got the majority of it out. Yeah, Cadillacs back there with tanks, turbo gas. I mean, even still, this was one of those. Is it North Star? Is North Star engine? CTSV maybe something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember my my Cadillacs very well. It was the thing. The nice thing about it was it was the most comfortable car I think I probably ever sat in ever. It was like you kind of sat in and you're like, I mean, it supported you, but you just sat down and it was great. It was not meant to be though. And then they had this deal. You know, there was Dieselgate going on for VW, and they had all these VWs in the lot. I had it in my head that I don't want a diesel, and then I tried the diesel. I gotta have a diesel because the warranty on it was ridiculous. Boy, if I never work on a sticky sack snorkel again in my life, it is not a day too soon. And I know Hans knows that better than anybody. Everybody says hi.
Sneaking away from work. Going back now.
All right, sorry. Yeah. Your dad always got him with the 60/40 front seat. He was 6'1" and my mom was 5 but nothing I would say to her. Oh man. This is acetone here. Probably overkill at this point. You've been trying to work yourself up for a week to work on the next snorkel I have to repair, one with the music nib that doesn't belong to me. Woo! Yeah, yeah. Talk about expensive. You know, that's the thing, right? You're always careful. Person's always. Mm. Oh, I hope there's nothing stuck in there. You're always careful, but when that extra special pen comes in, you're not like you're not careful all the time. There we go. Doo-doo. Oh, I think that's good. Might not be the right size for this. I think I got a bigger one for this somewhere. But I think we're good. All right, let's get a sack. Get that guy done. Has my mail delivery and pickup been pretty consistent time wise there? Some days my mail shows up at noon, and like today, I'm expecting a package and it's 4:25 and still not here yet. You know, I haven't been here um long enough to provide a good answer to that. Um, I was here like one day last week, I think, maybe. I don't remember. No, I wasn't. I wasn't here at all last week. Um, I was here on Tuesday, so like I have 3 days worth of. I met my regular carrier on Tuesday. She was awesome, and then yesterday I got a sub because apparently she's a trainer, and she will train other people on other routes. So she wasn't here, but when she was here, it was like 12:30, which like for me is perfect. It's just perfect. Noon, 12:30, that's good. And it was like 10:30 at my house, and I'm like, I much prefer not 10:30. And the sub that's been coming, who's also very nice, um, has been coming at 10 o'clock. Like, how do you get here 2 hours before the regular person does it? I mean, at least I don't have to. Um, I don't have to worry about looking out the door and you know can I run upstairs to go to the bathroom? I mean, it's they come in, it's there, it's good to go. Boom, we're done. But I think she's coming back on. She'll be back on Saturday, so we'll see. And I know I had heard she was normally around noon, so we'll see what it's like. But the day before Labor Day, I mean, it was over an hour late. Oh, previous mailman was from England and had been a mailman there for years, moved here and started working for USPS. He was pretty consistent. Yeah, nice. Thank you. Bless you. Yeah. I'm allergic to pens that don't open. Well, this one opened. All right. Well, that worked out okay, huh? When he retired and was putting in his retirement paperwork, he sent it certified delivery, and USPS lost the paperwork. Oh, the irony is brutal. Lost. Oh. Random question. Oh, come on. Do I have any loose? Do I have any loose number 15 pallet nibs? Uh, I was just gonna snuff that one off, but there's a um not there. Hold that thought. Let me check my pilot. Let's see. There's a falcon nib. Why do I have that? I've got the market on rollerball section for sure. Actually, I can make a half of 2 pilot Pereiras. I just need caps. Um, there's a box here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, wait. Hang on. Maybe. Hang on. I have a box because, of course, it's sitting over in my shipping area. I don't know why it's shipping. 20. Hey, Pelican pen sleeves. Here's something you won't find just anywhere. Not one, not two, three of those. Why do I have it? I don't know. I used to have a bag of nibs. What are these for? Which one is this for? It's terrible. It's terrible, right? You're just gonna go back in the box, and I'm gonna pull one thing out a day. You need to double check. Yeah, I can't remember which one that goes to. It belongs to a pen set that in no decade soon I can afford. is I'm sure what the answer is. I don't know what that is. Serial number card for a platinum Oshino. I got one here for a niece too. This is not the box I was looking for. Oh, bald eagle. Yeah, that makes sense, huh? How much is one of those bad boys? Anybody got a bald eagle they need a new bottle cap for? Oh. See, now I'm kind of we all have a junk drawer. It's just that Brian has junk boxes. Yeah. Um. I, I don't know if I would just say I'm burned out this week, but I don't really care much to do pen repair. So now I'm like, no, 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 no. I've got something. I just don't know where it is. If it's not in here, then we'll have to continue this discussion. Oh, wow. How's that doing? I know I have. At least one. Big nib. But it might not be a 15. I think it's in an Arushi section even. There's a good one. Let's look in there. This is Thursday is basically my Friday. So um it's in not super great shape, but I think it's all there. What pen does this go on? So this was at the bottom. Um, yeah, AA Waterman and Company 8 Modern Chicago is what it's on. It's a little bent, but it could be straightened. It's not too bad. Um, it was in the bottom. It was in an eBay lot that I bought. You might not live long enough to see the pen. It goes, well, then I'm a few years older than you, so I'll probably never ever see it. I just would like to know what pen this would go in. I suppose I should post this online maybe sometime. But I bought an eBay auction that contained one of Esterbrook for a while made it a little tiny small tin. Everybody's familiar with the cardboard boxes they came in, most of the red ones. For a while they made them in Philadelphia and they were floral and they had really cool patterns on and stuff. But they made a tin one. And it's really tiny. It's like maybe an inch and a quarter or something. I mean, it's really small. For a short period of time, and I bought it. Well, it had to be. I think it was. Yeah, it got to be at least this big. And I bought the auction, and it was a tin, and it had a bunch of nibs in it, and some miscellaneous junk in it. And at the very, 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 very bottom, and I got it for like $10, 5, 10. I mean, it wasn't. It was less than 20, including shipping. And at the bottom is this monster. I said, you know what? This is the case. Someday, when the timing is right, I will build a pen around having the nib first. Because surely somebody scrapped number 8 AA Waterman nib for gold and left the rest of the pen. So the pen's going to be in perfect shape, and I've got the nib. All right, let's look in here. There might be something in here. I know I've got a nib somewhere. These are all my these are all the nibs that I ground when I was at Richard Binder's. I think that's what these are. Yeah, there's a needle point in there and a stub and is this it? Is this it? I think we're getting closer. No. Here it is. Well, that doesn't belong in here. After all this, there better be a number 15 in here. Here it is. Oh, it's not. It's not a 15. I think this is. That's a Rushi. So this has got to be a Yukari Royale. I think this is Royale size. I mean, it's an inch long from here to here. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a Royale. There's a cool one. Two-tone Pilot. No idea what that goes on. Oh, it's probably a Grance, number 3 size. So the answer is, and I thought this was maybe a 15. No, I do not. This is the one I was thinking of, but this is not. Now you know what body and cap you need to find for you, and a bald eagle. 3 of them. Yeah, yeah. I knew I had it somewhere. See, that's the thing. You tell me, you ask me if I've got something. You can get me 3 bald eagles. Yeah, yeah. I just want the yeah. I have this pile of cash. I have a pseudo encyclopedic memory of certain things that are absolutely not important. Like where I bought most every pen I have ever purchased in my life. Where certain things are. Like I knew I had that. I just couldn't remember where the heck it was. And this, and for sure, it was in that first box that I pulled out. But then I organized myself and I put it in here. Not a small pile. What are those things going for? Let's take a look. Oops. Let's look. Should send it to a custom pen maker like Sean Newton. Say, build me a pen like this. 1,000 without a box. Oh, well, that's not bad. Oh, but the box. Yeah, here's one for 1,000. No, those aren't all nibs. No, those are There's a lot of sections and miscellaneous junk that I'll probably never use. A lot of a lot of Esterbrook crap in there too. Empty cartridges. Yeah, 1,000. I love the description here. Excellent inbox, works well. Okay, 2001. Terrible picture of the pen. Can anybody show us a picture of the pen? How about this? Let's go. Oh, it's only a number 10 size nib? In the box. In the box. Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I mean, I was thinking, if it's 5,000, that's unapproachable. But see, now I just need to find a box and the pen without the bottle of ink. Yeah, much better. Yeah, I mean, I mean, dare I say, and this is maybe an unpopular opinion. Say you spent, and this one's sold obviously, but say you spent $1,395 for a limited edition of 700. You have a much more usable pen than you do, say, an Emperor. At 60%. Yeah, that stupid Twilight Vanishing Point costs more now. And you can get almost the same effect in the Sheaffer 100. Almost. Not quite. For $60 or whatever it is. Whatever it is. That's not bad. That's not a terrible. The pattern's nice. Other pictures. Here we go. Whoops. Sorry about the whiplash. Yeah, it looks nice. All right. Okay. This is going to sit. Well, that we can put that back together next week. That's good news. Sign. Oh, okay. Oops. All right. I guess we can do a little bit of this yet. Here we go. Let's see. Well, this one's the big one, so this has got to be the LJ. Yep. Yeah, 1,000, 1,500 bucks. That's not a big pile of cash. I mean, it's a lot of money, but I mean, you think about it. $1,000 is like 3 modern pens with steel nibs these days. Which is kind of ridiculous, but hmm. Yeah, I keep waiting for the Twilight to see it crash on that one. Oof, how bright that is. Uh, This one just won't come open, so a little heat will be necessary. There we go. Spicy, how are you? Yeah, today you see a lot of colors. Nothing but color today. Even the PFM was dark, bright green. What else has everybody else got cooking for the weekend? Anything fun? Yeah, this is country green, really a good color. One of my favorite colors. And then the Tempo red. Oh, is it at your local pen store? Crazy Alan doing something? Am I going to get a call? This one, yeah, 14. Oh, Kirk Spears coming. Oh, okay. I'm trying to think if he... Kirk placed an order with us? I can't remember. Well, that's fun. Have some fun with that. Are you going to get a nib ground or anything? Like your Emperor? Just kidding. Just kidding. You need the double broad nib that is only sold in Emperors in Europe. Oh my goodness, really? They make a double broad nib for the Emperor? The orders you put in the mail today were accepted by the post office at 3:13 p.m. Probably when she got back to the... Yeah, I wonder, because she didn't scan the scan form, which scans all of the packages in one barcode. She just took it. What is this? That's awful. I mean, it's not awful. It's funny. It is funny. There's nothing funny about that man. Nothing at all. Ah, what do we got? Uh-oh. think I dripped water on the tray when I was. That's good. Yeah, when they do that, it's hard for the end customer to track the package. It's harder for the customer to track the package online. Yeah. It's supposed to make it easier for the carrier. The other carrier, she'd scan it right away. I mean, every other carrier I've had scans those right away. I don't know why you wouldn't. At least one of these pen store events I bought. Well, at the last one of these pen store events, I bought 14 decent vintage pens from someone random walking around. Maybe the same will happen this weekend. That sounds like a good time to me. I hope to buy 14 vintage pens this weekend. The last time I went to this antique store, I didn't make it to the front counter before I had picked up at least there were 3 fountain pens and 1 mechanical pencil. And a cool blotter that came with the. So the Esterbrook pens sure are pretty. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Pencils sometimes seem to get so. Yeah, it's absolutely. One of the leading factors why I won't do pen shows anymore. It's no fun. It's no fun having your stuff stolen by someone who is, probably in the community. My biggest one was 14 pens stolen at the same time one year. And I was just, what are you going to do? You have insurance, but, it doesn't meet your deductible. But I probably had close to 30 pens stolen at shows. Although I do laugh because one time I had a Noodler's Ahab stolen. I'm like, okay, knock yourself out, man. Good luck with that. It's not gonna write anyway. He had one package sent from Florida. It made it to New Jersey, then took a hard left and landed in Arizona for a weekend, and then back to New Jersey, then to Maine. Took 14 days. Oh my God. Do you think organizers should start paying for guards around? It's probably a thing to look for. Some shows do have undercovers. And word usually gets around pretty quick at certain shows if they think somebody sketchy is in the room. I mean, you wouldn't know it if you weren't a vendor, but it would get out. You know, the dude in the blue shirt and the brown hat, or yeah, so that's much better looking there. Yeah, they stole. We had a noodler stolen. It was the same show that was in Long Island. I also had what honked me off. You know, it's bad enough when you steal, anything gets stolen, but if it's a vintage pen that you can't replace, I had a Esterbrook doctor's pen, a white doctor's pen, red ends, I think, stolen. You know, I can't replace that. It's not replaceable. I had a platinum Azumo stolen at one show, and the distributor was there, and they were gracious enough to sell me, and you give me a new one at cost. Not the only reason I don't do shows, but you get tired of, shows are a lot of work. You get tired of putting in all the effort, and then somebody just helps themselves. Probably should have written down the match serial numbers of. I probably have it somewhere. The Aurora 88s that I had stolen. I think they were 88s. One in gold and one in steel. So that looks pretty good. That's much better. A little bit of what's on the top there we can get off. Close enough for government work, as they say. So let's see. Oh, we don't need this. We put in a. Put in a current production J bar, so we don't need the spacer in there. The Arkansas Pen Show, they have put up small cameras everywhere. It's a shame it's come to this. Yeah, it is. It is. We have a raid. Hello. Welcome, everyone. I got to get my eyes are killing me today here. Eric draws. Nice. Welcome. We're talking nonsense today. Esterbrook's. Pastels. Apple Tater. Hello. G's Crafties. Welcome. Section of the ultrasonic. For a second there, I thought there was a crack in this cap, and it was a hair. Everyone's got colors. Raid, yeah. How's the pen repair going? Yeah, it's all right today. Not too bad. We got a pen PFM apart today. That was a... You never know how that's going to go. But it was an icky, gooey, sticky mess, that's for sure. You had a cell phone stolen one time? You called them? I said, you have my phone. They said they didn't. That you're talking on it right now. Did you get it back? You always clog yours up, huh? There we go. All right. Speaking of raid, I think somebody is raiding our office here. We have an office.
Wing. Your repair
Wing? This is not a wing.
Repair
It is
wing.
not a wing.
All right, well, your repair alcove? Nook? You have a
Nook?
repair nook.
No, not a nook.
All right, I love you. Have fun. What are we doing? Oh, aren't they
Pastels.
pretty?
Yeah, aren't they
I'm gonna
nice?
go- I'm gonna-
Nice late pastels.
I'm going to go QuickBooks.
You gotta. Oh. Arm yourself with a steel nib. Han says hi. Jason says hi. No, I'm not doing quickly. Apple Tater says hi. That's a great name. Really a great name. I like that. Apple Tater. You kind of have to say it with a little southern drawl. Apple Tater.
Now I want.
Now you want to be on Twitch.
No, now I
You want food. I'm just going to go out there and say maybe it had something to do with what little you had for lunch. You did. That would have been an improvement. Dawn Holder says hi. Everybody says hi. Glenn says hi. Anything to distract you from QuickBooks. It's not been my experience. We got to clean up these sections here. Looking forward to tomorrow's show. Yeah, it should be good. Tomorrow, Should be on time. We have everything that we forgot last week is still here. Dawn says she really liked your Queen mug that you had in the video a few weeks back. Lucia says thank you. I don't know if you heard that. There is a matching King mug. I have on good authority. Hopefully we got the bugs ironed out for tomorrow. Oh, this one I had started on that parquet from last week, but it was too small for the parquet. But since we didn't really use it, we're just gonna we're gonna cut off that part anyway. Boom. There we go. So normally these are the same size regardless of the size of the pen. But because we took this spacer out, because we don't need the spacer. I know there was a thread on, it was FBN a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that, about the spacers and the trays and all that stuff. But I say if you don't have an original, just put in a regular J bar and make a longer sack on it. I think this memory board is going to meet its maker here. Right now. Oh, much better. Yeah, I know it does shake. Yeah, sorry. Are GC fountain pen sets any good? GC. GC? GC? What does GC stand for? You mean FC? Franklin Christoph? Gotta run. Nice chatting. Yeah, yeah. Dawn, have a great weekend. Two more. Oh, that's no fun. All right. These guys will be good to test on Monday. So I won't even look at them until then. And let's see. So what do we got? We'll test these guys on Monday. And I'm gonna move this camera, I think, over the weekend or something. That's like my center of my screen is right here. So the camera is way over here. We got those guys. Our PFM, we should be able to put this guy back together. Humpty Dumpty. Which will be nice. Get that done and out of here. And then maybe we'll do some more pastels. Maybe I've got some other colors. I've got a number of these Aloha Golds and maybe a couple Tempo Reds. So we can do a couple duplicates just so we have them. And who knows? Maybe there'll be some pens from the antique store this weekend. In which case we'll have something fresh to work on. Not, we can always try. I've got I've got this snorkel here that's been soaking for. Have a great time. Yeah, thanks. I'll be sure to text you if something comes up. I've got a snorkel and a vacuumatic here that are still. Let's see what this guy looks like. It's kind of disgusting, isn't it? I bet it still doesn't move. That problem is at least solvable. If that doesn't come open, we can just replace the fill unit. But I don't much care to do that as if I don't have to. They're getting harder and harder to, and more expensive as the time goes on. The snorkel here is just. Not yet. So we'll work on that next week. So I guess that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow, live podcast, live stream at 1:30 p.m. Central. 1:30? Yeah, we do it 1:30. We should be on the mark tomorrow. All our equipment is actually here, so we don't have to worry about that. And we'll go from there. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great evening wherever you are. Great afternoon, great morning. Be kind, be well, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.